Hi, my name is Laura Gavanter, and I'm the creator of the SET method, subconscious energy transformation. One of the modalities that I use is PSYCH-K, and specifically the PSYCH-K stress trigger balance. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how it works, what to expect in a session, and the lasting positive change that can occur with this. So, what the stress trigger balance is all about is changing the perception of a past experience, past stress trigger that you may have that is actually playing out in your present life. The reason why this is that that event became locked into one hemisphere of your brain at that time. And since the subconscious is always in the present tense, anytime you experience something similar to that event or even think about that event, it can cause the stress response, the physical symptoms of it in the body. So it could be the tightness of the chest, shortness of breath, that like feeling in the pit of your stomach, as if it's happening right now, just because you have a memory of that event. So it's obviously very, very powerful to be able to transform that. What happens in a session is we go into a whole brain state, which means that both hemispheres of the brain are communicating or in optimal communication. So they're both being able to speak to each other, and the attributes that they both have are able to actually be in full capacity, is the best way to explain it. So you're reperceiving this event from a whole brain state. And what happens is that it just becomes an event that happened in your past with no emotional charge to it. So when you try to conjure up that feeling again, many times you can't. It's just not there. So you can be still thinking about this issue or what happened in the past, or you can actually be in a similar situation and there's no trigger, there's no response. And initially it may seem very weird because you could still have the habitual thoughts may still come up about when you're sitting in a certain situation, but there's no trigger to it. And you're not used to that, maybe especially if something that you've had since you're very, very young. So what happens is that this trigger is now removed from your life, which is really, really powerful. It could be something that happened very early in childhood. It could be something that happened you were as an adult. You had a really horrible experience flying one time, and now you're terrified to get on an airplane. Or it could actually be a future event that you're having a stress response now anytime that you think about it. I recently had a client who was having a lot of anxiety about her son's upcoming wedding because she was going to have to walk down the aisle, and she was just so anxious about having all this attention on her. So we did a stress trigger balance in the session, and she reported back after the wedding that there was no anxiety whatsoever. She had a wonderful time at the wedding, and this was just in one session. So you see, it could work for future events that there's anxiety about, as well as past traumatic situations, in addition to something that you actually may be experiencing in the present. Just the thought of something brings you anxiety, we can transform that. This all happens in a matter of minutes. And it's one of my favorite processes to use with clients, in addition to other PSYCH-K balances, emotion code, body code, and my own intuitive coaching, which is super, super powerful. I hope this was helpful. If you'd like more information about the work that I do, you can check out my website. It'll be in the link below, but it's lauragavanter.com. You can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Thank you.